Hello and welcome to the BMC Quick Course Series. My name is Todd Mollenhauer and I'm a software consultant based in California. In this session, I will demonstrate and describe Workbench for Db2 Perspectives. Perspectives are selection tabs at the top of each screen that navigate to major functional areas. BMC Workbench for Db2 is an interface that allows you to perform many tasks on a ZOS mainframe through a web browser. It provides 8 perspectives to accomplish different tasks. To enable the perspectives, you must first define a workspace. Let's do that now. Click the plus sign. Enter a workspace name and description. You have the choice between 2 different layouts, Basic and Advanced. In this example, we chose Workbench Advanced, which shows all 8 perspectives. Click OK. Let's take a quick look at each of the perspectives we'll be covering. The Db2 Navigator Perspective enables you to browse and manage the Db2 catalog. The File Locator Perspective allows you to browse and edit mainframe datasets and submit JCL to the internal reader. In the Job Browser Perspective, you can filter and browse JES job output. The Performance Perspective allows you to execute, explain, and compare SQL statements and perform what-if analysis. The Schema Management Perspective supports Schema Compare. The Recovery Management Perspective lets you view current recovery status, object recoverability reporting, and recovery time estimates. In the Scratchpad Perspective, you can create, execute, and save Db2 commands in JCL. The Product Tools Perspective lets you create and manage BMC product object sets, NGT utility management behavior, and the Smart Switch feature. Let's start with the Db2 Navigator. As you can see in the drop-down box, you can view Db2 objects, view SQL in the statement cache, display utility status, and create and manage BMC product object sets. Let's define an object view. Click the plus sign and select the Add Db2 Object View selection. Choose a Db2 subsystem and object type. The filter is by object name. You can also search on object attributes by clicking on the Advanced Search button. In our example, we're going to find packages using the pattern mask shown here. Click OK. The filter adds a node in the tree on the left, and the object result view is displayed on the right. You can double-click an object to view its properties, or you can highlight an object and click the Properties icon. Here we see properties from the catalog. Click OK when finished. You can view the objects that are related to the selected object by clicking the Related Objects icon. By clicking here, we will see objects related to the highlighted package. The Related Objects toolbar is displayed. Let's click on the Tables icon. If you don't know which icon is Tables, simply hover over an object to get a pop-up with its type. You can see all of the tables that are referenced in the package. Depending on the original object type, different related object icons will be available. Let's click on Indexes to see those that are associated with the highlighted table. A node for the object is placed in the tree on the left, and the object result view is displayed on the right. The File Locator Perspective allows you to browse and edit mainframe datasets and PDS members. To define a filter for a dataset, click the Add Dataset Filter icon. Enter a dataset filter pattern name and click OK. After the filter results are displayed, you can select nodes in the tree on the left to see the list of members in the result view on the right. Double-clicking on a member opens the member in the Scratchpad Perspective. We are automatically taken to the Scratchpad Perspective, where you can edit, copy, save, and execute your member. To execute, click the Run icon. If you edit the member and want to save your changes, click the Save icon. To undo an action, click the Undo icon, and to redo an action, click the Redo icon. To find a string, enter the search string in the search box and click Find. The location of the string is highlighted in the display, and row column information is in the lower right. To find successive strings, keep clicking the Find icon. To make the search case sensitive, enable the case box shown here. To find and replace, enter the string in the Find box and enter the replacement string in the Replace box. Click Find first, then Replace, or click Replace immediately. To replace all instances, click the All box. To copy an existing mainframe file, click the Copy File icon. Enter the file name and member name you want to save as, then click Save. The changes are now saved in the new member name. The Job Browser perspective allows you to filter and browse JES job output. You can view job output for each DD name in a job or started task, as well as search the job output text. To define the output filter, click the Add Job Filter icon. Enter a filter name. Wildcards are allowed. Then click OK. Navigation tree is to the left. The list of jobs matching your filter are on the right. To see a list of DD names in a job, select a job and click on the View Details icon, or double-click on the job. Select a line to display the information for each DD in the viewing pane below. You can search for specific text by entering text in the search field and clicking Find. The Db2 Performance Perspective allows you to explain SQL statements from a package, the Db2 statement cache, or from ad hoc freeform SQL. This perspective allows you to create what-if scenarios, allowing you to change the SQL statement, manipulate indexes, and run the SQL in a different subsystem, then compare the results. By explaining multiple alternative statements and comparing the results, you can optimize your SQL. To start an SQL tuning session using ad hoc SQL, click the Add SQL Statement View icon. Enter a user-friendly name for your statement and select a subsystem. If the table in the SQL is unqualified, enter a value in the Table Qualifier field. Key in or paste your SQL statement in the statement pane. Click the Explain icon. The statement is explained and the access path diagram is displayed. By hovering over the access path diagram with your mouse, you get detailed information. You can toggle from diagram format to tree format using the icon shown here. This is the explain information in tree format. To start an SQL tuning session for a statement in the dynamic statement cache, click on the Db2 Navigator Perspective, then click on the Add Db2 Statement Cache View selection from the drop-down. Enter a subsystem ID and filter and click OK. A list of SQL statements in the Db2 statement cache is displayed. Click on a statement to highlight and click the Explain icon. The Explain information is displayed. You can zoom the Explain diagram in and out using the controls shown here. Besides the Explain information, you can see tabs for cost, predicates, related objects, indexes, and the SQL statement. To explain a package statement, start in the Db2 Navigator Perspective and define a package filter. After the results are displayed, select a package and click the Show Explainable Statements icon. A list of explainable statements in the package will be displayed. Highlight a statement and click the Explain icon. The Explain results are displayed. The tuning session tree on the left is populated with the statement name, statement number, and cost information. The SQL tab displays the SQL and information about the statement. You can modify the SQL or explain on another subsystem by clicking the What If icon, which is displayed as a question mark. The Indexes tab displays information about the tables accessed by the SQL statement and their related indexes. This tab allows you to manipulate indexes using what-if scenarios by clicking on the What If icon. The Cost tab displays cost information and any rules and recommendations associated with the statement. The Predicates tab lists the details of predicates used in the statement. You can use the Compare tab to analyze the cost changes as a result of your what-if scenarios. The Related Objects tab will direct you to the various object types associated with this SQL statement. BMC Workbench enables you to migrate the access path statistics for a set of objects from one subsystem to another, or from one schema to another within the same subsystem. For selected objects, BMC Workbench migrates the table, table space, and index statistics that affect access path. For example, you can migrate production statistics to a test environment, then explain and compare to see if there are access path differences. You can select objects from a results list in the Db2 Navigator Perspective, or select objects included in an SQL tuning session. The Options button in the upper right corner lets you define statistics migration options. The Schema Management Perspective is used to compare two sets of data structures. The objects can reside in a Db2 catalog or a DDL file. The comparison process enables you to perform the following tasks: record changes made to a local or remote subsystem, understand structure changes between two subsystems to help you determine which changes to migrate. Comparing schemas involves generating and viewing a set of reports. The reports list the objects that need to be created, altered, or dropped to make the two structures identical. Workbench generates the change definition language that defines the changes that must be applied to make the schema's structures identical. You can save the CDL to a dataset and edit the CDL in the Scratchpad editor. To start a schema compare, hit the green Add Schema Compare View button. The Define a Comparison wizard opens. Complete the name field and create or use an existing report, then click Next. In step 2, you define the type of comparison. Here we choose Catalog to DDL. Optionally, you can give a dataset name that holds the report, typically a PDS member. Click Next to continue. In step 3, you select the Db2 connection where the schema is stored. Then select the DDL dataset. This dataset defines the scope of the comparison. You can now click Finish without changing the defaults for dependent objects, attributes, and options values. Workbench runs the compare and puts you in the Reports tab. Here's the report by statement type. The Reports drop-down box at right shows available reports. You can see there are reports by statement and object type. Here we show a detail report with the CDL in the viewing pane. Click on the Show CDL icon. The CDL is displayed in the Scratchpad. Optionally, click on the Copy File button to save the CDL to a different dataset. The Recovery Management Perspective lets you view the status of a current recovery process, verify the recoverability of individual objects to a specified recovery point, and estimate the elapsed time for a backup or a recovery. For more information on how to run these recovery management reports, please view the quick course, Workbench for Db2, Assessing Backup and Recovery Reports. All reports in Recovery Management Perspective use object sets. Object sets are collections of objects that resolve to indexes and table spaces. You can use BMC Workbench to manage object sets. Let's have a look at how to create an object set in the Product Tools perspective. In the Product Tools perspective, you have the choice to add an object set view, an NGT utility management view, or a smart switch view. In this session, we will create an object set. Once created, the definition can be viewed in the Db2 Navigator Perspective and is then available to other BMC products. In the Product Tools perspective, click the plus sign, then select Add Object Set View. Select Create New Object Set, select a Db2 connection, and click OK. In the Specification pane, you can accept or change the name of the object set and add an optional description. Hit the green radio button to add an object. Specify object type, name or wildcard, and either a plus or minus on the left to include or exclude from your object set. You can use these icons to copy, move, or delete specifications. Click here to save the object set, or here to show details. Object set details. Note we are including indexes for related objects, objects related by RI, and lob objects. From the Object List tab, you can exclude specific objects from the object set. Now we click the Resolve button to get the list of objects that are included in the object set. Hit the Save button to save the created object set. Switching back to the Db2 Navigator perspective, you can take a look at the newly created object set and its definition, delete the object set, or deploy it to another subsystem. The Scratchpad perspective allows you to create, execute, and save Db2 commands. You can generate various commands from the Db2 Navigator perspective, enter your own commands, or open a member on a file locator that contains Db2 commands or JCL, then execute them in the Scratchpad. The commands that can be generated to the Scratchpad perspective are dependent on the object type. Available commands are DML, DDL, HDDL, DCL, DSN commands, drop, start, stop, display, and alter. The available commands depend on the type of object displayed in the Navigator pane. Here is a list of commands available for a tablespace list. And this is an example for a package list where bind, rebind, and free command buttons are displayed in the Db2 Navigator pane. Execution of any Workbench-generated command, or any command or JCL contained in a saved file, are executed by clicking the Run button. Workbench recognizes content and uses the proper execution program. In this example, the Run button will run a select against a table, perform a grant, and submit a batch job to the internal reader, all from a single click of the Run button. Thank you for your time. This concludes the Understanding Perspectives quick course.